Have an approach up there. What were you thinking? Come on, guys. Gotta have an approach. What are you doing up there? Hey, come on. Let's go. Have an approach. Guys, what are you doing? Guys, you gotta have an approach. We've all heard coaches say this term. It's an overly used term. Approach, have an approach. A lot of coaches use it. Most of them don't even know what they're saying. It's just one of those jargon words in baseball that a whole lot of people use, and nobody actually tells you what it is. So today, you're going to find out. There are a lot of different types of approaches, and we are going to list some of those off, some of the basic fundamental ones that you can use on an everyday basis or that you should be using. But today, let's just talk about what is an approach. I mean, what is it? Coaches use it all the time. They're constantly yelling it from the third base box. You hear other players saying it, but nobody actually tells you what an approach is. We have this vague definition in our head, and as long as you get a hit, that was a good approach. Or as long as you executed your play, that was a good approach. But if you get out or you roll over, then your approach wasn't very good. That doesn't seem very fair to me. So what is an approach? An approach is any plan that you go to the plate with. I know that seems like a very basic, fundamental definition, but that's really what it is. It's any plan that you go to the plate with. Now, you can have really bad approaches, and you can have really great approaches. Having consistent, really great approaches throughout your season, your game, your career, that's what's going to help you be more consistent and more successful in the long term. Now, there are a lot of really bad approaches too. For example, if you go to the plate and your plan is, hey, I'm just going to hit a home run here. I'm going to drive everybody in. I'm going to put the ball over the wall. That technically is an approach. However, you're probably not going to be very successful at that consistently throughout your season. If you are, you might as well just sign up for the big leagues right now. You know, give them a contract, right? Bottom line is you got to have an approach. You must have a plan to be consistently successful throughout a game and throughout a season. Here's the other side of it, guys. If your pitcher that you're facing has an approach against you and has a plan on how he's going to attack you and get you out, and he's working on the same page with that catcher, but you as a player don't have an approach, you are in big trouble automatically because they have a plan and you don't. And you can ask anybody, and you can apply it to life as well. If you don't have a plan and someone else does, 9 times out of 10, they're going to win. Are you going to get lucky sometimes? Yeah, but I just want to be honest with you, you're going to want to have an approach. So some of the approaches that we are going to cover in this series are individualistic approaches, default approaches, count approaches, and situational approaches. If there's a certain type of approach you would like to hear of next, let me know down in the comments. Those are 4 of the main, most common approaches that you can have throughout your season or career. It doesn't matter if you're a professional baseball player. It doesn't matter if you're in Little League. You can use one or all of those approaches throughout the game. Now look, at different points in the game, you may choose to have a different approach, and that's totally fine. Just because you have an approach is not going to equate to you being ultimately successful every single time. You know, you get 3 out of 10 hits and you're pretty successful. Just keep that in perspective as you're implementing these in the cages and in practice and in games. That having an approach every time is going to help you be more successful, but it doesn't mean that you're going to be successful immediately, and it doesn't mean you're going to be successful right away. However, it will over time as you get better at implementing them and thinking through the stages of your approach and of the game, it will really help you take you to the next level of your game. Another big piece is a good coach is going to be able to determine if you have a good approach and you still get out, if you have a great approach and you still strike out or you still pop up, he'll still be able to determine, hey, you got out that time, but you still had a great approach, and he's going to encourage the consistency of the great approach because that's something that you can control. You cannot control the outcome of every single play. If we as baseball players or softball players could control the outcome of every play, we would all get base hits all the time. So let's make sure we focus on what we can control versus what we can't control. And let's make sure that what we can control is having an approach. Let's make sure we have that approach, a plan, every single at-bat, every single pitch. I'm really excited for this series. I'm super excited to clear some of this up for a lot of players, especially high school, college guys that have heard these terms their whole life and have never actually been explained as to what an approach really is. I hope you found value in this video. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that big red button for me. And guys, I love making these videos for you. I love being able to feed you this information and have practical advice that you can take with you and implement immediately and directly into your individual games. If you want to see another video, if you are curious about, hey, I have this situation personally, can you make a video on it? Put that down in the comments too. I'd love to at least have a conversation with you. If you're having that issue, more times than not, somebody else is having the same issue. So let's address some of these things. Guys, thank you so much. Don't forget to connect with me. Love you guys. God bless.